I had to patch up the roof here, so she needs a new log to hold the sod back. But we're gonna talk about water pump stuff. Anyway, this is the infamous swamp. You might say, oh, that's no big deal. Just walk out there and get a bucket of water. Well, I encourage you to come up here and give that a whirl. It's not as much fun as you'd think. Here's the cabin. Nice big stone fireplace. Goes up to the skylight. Oh. And I'm seasoning my waffle iron at the moment. And then I've got this bay window sealed in, so this will all clear up, this fog and stuff, once there's no more moisture coming in here. Looking at some pictures from when I was not even a bun in the oven yet. That's my mom with my sister 43 years ago in this rocking chair, which is this rocking chair. Now that's pretty cool. My dad calls it a wiggle chair because he built it and it never quite rocked. It more kind of wiggled. It's got this beautiful center beam here. Skylight here is the back window out of a 1976 Chevy Nova. And I'm only going to show this because I don't keep anything in here anymore. This is the gun safe. Okay, so built into the fireplace is a carpet-lined box which holds your guns. Anyway, let's go out and talk about this car. Far more exciting than hidden gun safes in fireplaces, right? No? You want more of that stuff? Well, we'll get back to that. Okay. What's that? 3 minutes and 3 seconds. So we will pause that there as I walk towards... Well, you know what? Why stop it? I don't know. Not sure how uploads on Instagram, and they got this Instagram TV, how that works, but so this is where I had to drive the car. No big deal. I never could fill up the tires. There were more slashes or, I don't know, punctures from squirrels in the sidewall. So I drove it down here. Had to obviously clear out a bit of a path. Drove it down on a couple rims and a couple sort of inflated tires. So here's the garbage dump on wheels. And we tried it a bunch of different ways. Tried hooking up this hose to the swamp from the lower rad hose and to the upper rad hose. And just no dice really, like not enough oomph in that water pump down there really do the trick. That's not a bottle of vodka that was drank. That was gonna be a screen. Goes over the end there. But we took that off so that we could put on our own check valve that we made. So I cut this path open. The check valve basically is once this water pipe is full, you don't want it just draining back into the pond because we're going uphill to the car, right? So a check valve will allow water to come into the pipe, but it won't allow water to go back out of the pipe. I can show you our homemade check valve here that me and Sue made. guess it's not really holding water. That could be part of the problem. I'll show you the idea. Pardon the bad camera stuff. Okay, so you got a bottle, and inside it you've got a piece of inner tube, or in this case it's an old buoy. So like the water comes down, and just the pressure of the water holds a seal here, but the water coming in can come in on the flap. So we hot glued a piece of rubber tubing around the edge here and made a flap, but it's just not good enough of a check valve, because you have to prime the whole system. But I'm gonna get water out of this thing. The piece of culvert, that's just to keep the weeds and stuff out of it while we figure out how to make a perfect contraption here. I never noticed how much I sniff, you know, like that, until I watch some of my videos. Maybe I've got an eternal sniffing post-nasal drip thing. Some things in life you just don't worry about. There's plenty of other things to worry about. So this will get sorted, and in theory it's a beautiful effing theory, you gotta admit. We're just not quite there yet. So that's where the saga ends for now, and possibly for this year. Oh, look, she's all set up here, all set up by the swamp, ready to go. Oh, I'm holding the camera this way. Now I'm concerned that I made the videos the other way. No. Okay. Lots of mushrooms. What the squirrels like to do is turn the mushrooms upside down to dry them out. That's a bad example because that one's rotting, but in other places they do that a lot. Well, actually, there's one right up here I can show you. Yes. It kind of rained, so it thwarted their attempts, but these are all russulas. Nothing super special here. You know, it's edible, but it's not incredible. So the squirrels pop them out of the ground, turn them upside down so that they'll dry, and then they'll hang them up in trees later on. What we got here is a brand new one. What do we think that is? Well, sounds good. Ooh. Some type of court. Not one of your edible and enjoyable species. And wormy. Totally wormy. The other day, you could have some psilocybes of some type growing out of this old horse patty here. If you were really into this stuff, you can make a spore print. See, you take a piece off like that, the cap, right? And you put it halfway on an all black piece of paper and an all white piece of paper. You put it right in the center so that the dark spores show up on the white side and the light spores show up on the dark side. You put a little glass jar or something over the top of it, and you get a magnifying glass and you figure out exactly what you got here. But these don't look like any kind of psilocybes that I know, and I don't just run around eating mushrooms out of cow patties anyway. I mean, I have. That was a long time ago when I was younger and more foolish. Woke up the other morning to a bear right outside the cabin. I mean, like 10 feet from where I was sleeping, lapping up the old mushroom soup water that I left out in the rain. A young bear, didn't know any better. Had to kind of scare him off. It was kind of a scene though, as I'm sitting there standing up watching this bear, thinking, okay, gun's in the truck. The truck was parked over there. I'm in here, so I tiptoed up and I locked the door. There's a little tiny clasp, you know. There's this little tiny clasp. I locked that and then kind of thought about what to do. Eventually I just made some noise and watched where the bear went, and when he was gone far enough over around the corner, I went to the truck and got the rifle. And anyway, beautiful evening here. I think that's long enough for now.